Woody is now when I come out in the mornings. He's now at his fat weight. Not a peep, doesn't call, quiet as a mouse. Here you can see I've done a slight modification to the mews. So now we've got some vertical bars there, which is a bit safer. I'm going to clad that bottom part in, and I'm just going to have a measure up now to extend this front part out to give him a little bit more weathering. I've just looked in there and there is another feather drop, so I'm going to go and look at that. And I've got my scales here, so I'm going to weigh him. Hey mate, hop on there. Hop on. Hop on there. I'm not so keen today, eh mate? Yeah, get on there. Yeah. Woody. Woody, come on. Up. Good boy, Woody. Good boy. Come on. Come on, come on. Good boy. Good. Okay, let's try it there. Let's try it there for you. Come on. Good boy, Woody. Two, 1, 10. So there's another feather been shed during the night. It's a left down one. Woody's been eating rabbit, pheasant, quail, pigeon. I've been mixing it up, and today he's going to have chicks. I've got 4 there. I'm going to end up putting them back in the fridge. Yeah. And this is another thing that I'm doing. This is Necton Biotin. It says promotes feather growth. And my falconry friend has been doing it for over 30 years. He uses this during the molt, and literally just put a little bit on, like a little bit of seasoning. Maybe it's 1/4 teaspoon, but not much, each day I feed. So these chicks have been in warm water to get to body temperature. I've been feeding Woody in various ways. Sometimes I hood him, and sometimes it goes through the chute, sometimes it's in the garden. Today I'm just going to walk in the mews and put these chicks down and show Woody's reaction to the food. What he's like now is fat weight. So chicks are his favourite. He knows I've got them. I've tried not letting him see me feed, but he always knows what I'm doing. He seems to know that it's me putting it down, so here we go. There you go, Woody. So the chicks are there. That is definitely his favourite food. Oh, Woody. See the way he's getting his talons stuck in the mat. So his natural reaction is to squeeze. I'm going to get out now because I know he doesn't really want me in here. And I'll come back in a minute and see what he's eating out of 4. I think he's going to eat about 2. I'm going to make a couple of mews jesses this morning, in between feeding the hawk and sorting him out. Something to do. This is my last season's mews jesses, which have been used a lot. They've been greased up with this traditional falconry furniture, leather grease, quite often, so really they're okay, they're still in good condition. But I'm going to make a couple of new ones and a couple of flying jesses. I always wondered what length to make these, not so much these ones, but the flying jesses. and I've figured out over the season it's best to have the shortest length you can have, that you can get in your hand when you're flying, so there's not too much tail. So for myself, I'm going to make these slightly shorter this year. So I've cut one strip off already, and all I've done was to measure on there, and then put the straight edge down that line. This is kangaroo leather, and then press hard where the Stanley or the blade is cutting, and cut right through. So there's them two parts made. So that's 2 lengths for the mews jesses, and that just happens to be 10.5 inches. So that's how long that piece of leather was, and I know that's the same because I used it last year, and by the time I've got the knot rolled up, that's how it ends up. So it's 10.5 inches, old school money, and new school is 10 millimeters, 1 centimetre. I was at the I'm on the generation where we started off in inches and then went over to metric, so I'm in the middle of both, a bit confusing really. I still like to use inches. And then what I'm going to do is set this to the largest setting on here. So I know that mews Jessie's got to go through this hole. And there's loads of this on YouTube, people doing these, and that's the only place I've got it from, so I'm just literally doing my own now. And then 4 folds, so you end up with 4 holes, or it might be 3 folds. 1, 2, no, it's 4, 2, 3, 4. So when you punch through, you end up with 4 holes. And then put that, you get one go at this, so try and get it in the centre, because this is going to be the centre of the knot. So it's worth just having a little look, make sure it's all good, and a good squeeze through there. And then you've got your 4 holes like that. So I'm going to do both together. 2, yeah, and 3 folds. 3 folds will give you 4 holes. So I'm going to roll these up inwards, so I'm folding into the rough side, and then when I pull this over and down through the centre, I know they're both going to be the same. Now what I want to do is to put this end through this end, so I need a point on the end of there. Now that point, you can do it, you could just go and cut it into a point, or try and measure it. You want to be a bit more accurate. I'm going 1 inch and 1 inch to the centre, and then you just make a point from then 2 points you've made. That's it. And the next thing I'm going to do is put some grease on the end that's going to fold. That protects it all, plus helps to slide the end through. So a bit of Jessie grease on there. So that'll be the knot end, all protected and Put some grease on the end of that one, and it enables the point to slide through as well. So I'm rolling into the rough side, so you just have to line the holes up now. And then once all the holes are lined up, then you pass the point through and pull, and that's that end done, and it's all greased up. So at the moment I've got no grease down the other end. I'll do the other side. So that's the two end knots done. So there's my swivel, and this is my last year's Mews Jessie, and that was long enough, that slit. I was quite happy with that, so I'm going to do it about the same. Some people just put a slit and a hole at this end, because this end's where the shackle is pulling on, and that circle just stops it splitting down, or that hole, but I've put a hole at both ends. That will stop that travelling up that way. Now I'm going to mark out and put them slits in. All I'm going to do is put the first hole to be cut in the centre there, and take that across and put it into the centre of that one. And then I'm going to measure up 1 inch for the next hole, 1 inch up on the other one for the next hole. Done. And I'm going to use a smaller hole now, because this hole punch, this is just going to be to stop it tearing. So I'm getting the smallest one I've got, and then just punch away. 1, 2. So trying to get them in the centre, because if you go wrong on this, then you need to make another one. And then all you've got to do is join the holes up. Like that. And then a bit of grease, and there you go. I was just wondering why that out the same piece of leather was longer, and I was getting a bit confused there, thinking, have I got another piece of leather somewhere? But that must be where it's been stretching. So over the season it's increased in length slightly where it's been stretching. But there you go, that's it. Cut through, just make sure the slits are long enough. So I'll poke them through, putting them on together. And that's it. So there's me new Mews Jesses. Just been out, I'm going to come back now and have a look, see what he's at. So it looks like he's had another chick. So I put 4 in there, and there's a pellet from yesterday, which is not very big, so he didn't eat a lot yesterday either. He's at basically 2. Here's Woody's fridge, a bit empty. Got a pigeon there, so then 2 chicks there are what was just left over from that last feed. So he's at 2, and 2 seems to be, well, I know that 2 will put a bit of weight on him, so he's sort of keeping his weight stable at the moment, but he'll be a little bit heavier tomorrow. but I won't weigh him now again for a few days. That's just purely to help me. And in this bottom one he's got all his rabbits that he's caught, pheasant, quail, not quail, sorry, woodcock. There's more rabbit there, and there's some chicks and rabbit there, and then we got this one with rabbit, pheasant,